Hey folks, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into the wild and shiny world of pennies. And no, I don't mean the ones you find glued to the bottom of your car cup holder covered in gum and mystery gunk. I'm talking about a single little copper coin that could turn your day around faster than a lottery ticket. You ever check your pocket change and think, it's just a penny? Well, you might want to stop tossing those babies in the couch cushions because one specific penny from 1968, yes, the one with the little S mint mark under the date, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. That's right, 1 cent worth more than a beachfront condo in Florida, a brand new Porsche, and a lifetime supply of peanut butter combined. And we're going to talk about what makes this penny so special, how to know if you've got one, and yep, I'll even tell you about the time I accidentally used a rare penny to buy gum. I'm still emotionally recovering from that one. So don't blink. Don't scroll. And for the love of Lincoln, go grab your change jar. The 1968 S penny was minted in San Francisco. That little S under the year is what gives it away. Now normally, a 1968 S penny is worth, well, 1 cent. Maybe 2 if someone's feeling generous, but there are a few ultra-rare versions of this coin that collectors go absolutely bonkers for. One of these has surfaced at auction for over $1.6 million. No joke. We're talking life-changing money for something you might have flipped into a fountain. Some of these 1968 S pennies were struck using proof dies on regular circulation blanks. Translation? The coin has sharp details, mirrored surfaces, and incredible eye appeal, but it wasn't supposed to be made that way. Basically, the mint goofed up, and collectors love a good government mistake. There are also known examples with double die obverse errors, where Lincoln's face, the lettering, or the date looks slightly doubled. If it looks like Abe's got a shadow or like he had one too many coffees that morning, you might be onto something. Now, let's say you find a 1968 S penny. Before you start calling yacht dealerships, hold up. Its value hinges big time on condition. We're talking mint state perfection. No scratches. No rust rings. No evidence it's lived in the lint-infested darkness of a pants pocket for 20 years. The million-dollar beauties are the ones graded MS67 or higher by a pro grading service like PCGS.so. Before you go crazy thinking every 1968 penny you find is a jackpot, you gotta understand, there's rare, and then there's rare. These unicorn coins are out there. And who's to say one isn't sitting in your house right now? Coin collecting is kind of like real estate. Prices move up and down depending on trends, market demand, and how many folks are out there hunting. The 1968 S Lincoln cents value has skyrocketed thanks to strong interest in error coins and high-grade specimens. In fact, just recently, one example sold for $1.6 million at a high-end auction. That's the kind of payday most of us only dream about, and it came from a coin someone might have once carried in their pocket for lunch money. Now let me tell you a quick personal story that still haunts me. I'm talking back when gas was under $3 and Netflix still mailed DVDs. I had this old change jar. One day, I dumped it out, rolled some coins, and went to the store to grab a soda and a pack of gum. Fast forward to that night. I was watching a coin collecting video on YouTube when a guy mentioned the 1968 S Lincoln cent and how rare some are. I kid you not, one of the pennies I spent earlier had the S mint mark and this super sharp shine. I remembered it because I joked to the cashier that it looked too fancy to be real. I ran back to the store the next day. Gone. Vanished into the till of destiny. I think about that penny more than some of my exes. That's how serious this stuff is. Don't underestimate your pennies. Especially not those from 1968 with the S mint mark. If you find one that looks unusually crisp, shiny, or just plain off, get it checked out. You could be holding a tiny copper miracle worth $1.6 million. Coin collecting isn't just for history buffs and old dudes with magnifying glasses. It's for anyone who wants to have a little fun, make a little money, and maybe even discover a treasure hiding in plain sight. Check your change jar, raid your piggy banks, ask grandma if she's still got that coffee can full of coins in the attic. You never know what you'll find, and if you want more tips, stories, and strategies for spotting coins that are actually worth serious cash, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you never miss a video. I've got tons more coming your way, from quarters worth thousands to nickels that'll knock your socks off. This is your coin hunting buddy signing off. Stay curious, stay patient, and most of all, keep checking your change. Let me ask you something that might just blow your mind. What if I told you that a simple penny, yeah, that coppery little coin you probably flicked into a tip jar last week without thinking, could actually be worth a whopping $1.7 million today? Nope, not joking. Not a dream. Not Monopoly money. I'm talking about a real 2006 Memorial Lincoln 1-cent coin that's been confirmed to hit that kind of insane market value. Come on, it's just a penny. You can't even buy gum with that anymore. And you're right, but this isn't just any old penny. This baby is rare, valuable, and collectors would throw elbows at a coin show just to get a peek at it. So grab your coffee, settle in, maybe even dump out that jar of pennies sitting in the garage, because for the next 50 minutes, we're going deep into the world of the 2006 Lincoln Memorial Cent. We'll talk about why it's worth so much, what to look for, and I'll even tell you a funny story about the time I almost spent a rare coin on a gas station hot dog. Yeah, it still hurts. Alright, before we jump into the juicy part, let's set the stage a little. The Lincoln Memorial penny ran from 1959 to 2008. If you're old enough, you probably remember seeing old Abe's face more than your own father's. From 1959 onward, the back of the coin proudly featured the Lincoln Memorial. And for nearly 50 years, it was the trusty face of American small change. In 2006, the Denver Mint struck over 4 billion of these pennies. So you might be wondering, if there are billions of them, why would one be worth over $1 million? Well, great question. Because here's the deal: while billions were made, not all were made equal. That's where the magic happens. The $1 million question, literally, is what makes this particular 2006 Memorial penny different from the others. In the case of the $1.7 million coin, experts believe it to be a perfect storm of conditions. We're talking a super rare die error minted in a small batch before the error was discovered, preserved in flawless condition, like it was vacuum sealed in grandma's Tupperware. And let me tell you, coin collectors go bonkers for mint errors. They're like the typos of the coin world, but instead of being embarrassing, they're straight up gold. We're talking things like double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, ghosting images, you name it. This particular 2006 penny reportedly has an unusual double die outburst, combined with a faint rotation and flawless luster. That combo made it a unicorn in a herd of donkeys. And if you've ever tried to find the one good banana in a grocery store, you know how rare that is. Imagine two cars. One's a beat-up 2006 minivan with Cheetos in the seats, the other's a 2006 Mustang in mint condition with 0 miles. Guess which one's worth more? Same goes for coins. Collectors use something called the Sheldon scale to grade coins, from 1 to 70. The $1.7 million penny? That sucker was a perfect MS-70. That means it's so clean, crisp, and untouched it could make a germaphobe cry tears of joy. Most pennies in your pocket are probably MS-60 or lower if they're even that lucky. They've been through coin rolls, vending machines, couch cushions, and toddler fists. But this one? This 2006 gem looked like it came straight off the press, winked at the camera, and said, "Put me in a vault." A few years back, I was in a rush. It was one of those mornings, you know the kind. I had one sock on, no coffee, dog barking at a squirrel, and I needed gas. So I go into the gas station, grab a sad little hot dog and a soda, and I reach into my change jar to scrounge up coins like a broke college kid, paid with pennies. Like, 15 of them. Fast forward 2 days. I'm going through my coin collection at home, checking pennies against a reference book for fun. Don't judge me, we all need hobbies. I realize I had a 2006 penny in pristine shape. Like, glowing. Then it hit me. I'd seen that exact one 2 days earlier. The nicks, the shine, the position of the mint mark, I recognized it. I had spent it. Now, was it the $1 million penny? Probably not. But could it have been worth a few thousand? Easily. After that, I started checking every single penny like it owed me rent. So here's the meat and potatoes of this whole video. How can you tell if you have the $1 million penny sitting in your junk drawer? That's the Denver Mint. It'll be on the right side under the date. Lincoln's coat should look tailored. Letters and numbers should be crisp. Look closely at "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If it looks like the letters have shadows or are printed twice, you may have a double die. If the coin has never seen the inside of a piggy bank, that's a good sign. If you think you have something special, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. They'll tell you if you're sitting on gold or just a shiny copper circle. Never clean your coin. I know the instinct is strong. You see a little gunk, and you think, a little toothpaste and elbow grease will fix that right up. Nope. That's how you turn a valuable coin into a shiny paperweight. Well, it's a combination of auctions, private collectors, and the ever-growing demand for rare coins in perfect condition. The coin that hit the $1.7 million mark did so through a private sale, likely between two collectors who both knew just how rare that piece was. There are whispers in the coin world that there are a few more out there, maybe a handful. But no one's sure, and nobody's talking. If you've got one, you're basically holding a lottery ticket. Every year, the value of these rare coins keeps going up. As the years go by and people spend or lose theirs, the surviving few only become rarer and pricier. We started this video with a simple penny. Just one. A 2006 D Memorial Lincoln cent. And now, you know the story behind a coin that's worth more than most people's houses. Check your change, go through your old piggy banks, look in your junk drawer, call grandma and ask if she has an old coin jar stashed away, because the next $1 million penny could be sitting there, quietly waiting for you to notice. And if you like this video, if you got a laugh, or if you just enjoy learning about how spare change can turn into serious treasure, hit that subscribe button. We've got more videos coming your way on rare coins, valuable pennies, and smart tips for building your own coin collection. Let's turn that couch change into a fortune together. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into private jets. Well, maybe not that extreme, but close enough. Now I've got one question for you today. Have you looked in your change jar recently? You know, the one you keep under the bed or in the kitchen drawer, or maybe even in the car's cup holder filled with stale gum wrappers and 3 expired mints, because believe it or not, you might be sitting on a penny worth a mind-blowing $18 million. Yeah, you heard me right. Not 1,000, not 100,000, but $1.8 million. Today we're diving into the jaw-dropping story of the 1970 D Lincoln Memorial penny. Yep, the one with the little d under the date. It's not just some rusty old coin, it's a potential life changer. Now before you say, come on, it's just a penny, let me tell you, this isn't just any old coin. It's a rare slice of minting history that collectors are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on. So sit back, grab that coin jar, and let's find out if your penny could buy you a beach house, a boat, and maybe even a personal chef named Carl. Alright, first things first, what even is a 1970 D penny, and why is this little guy causing such a ruckus in the coin world? So the 1970 D penny was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for. If your penny has no letter under the year it was made in Philly, but if there's a D under that 1970, hold onto it with both hands and maybe even wrap it in bubble wrap. Now here's the kicker, not all 1970 D pennies are worth big bucks. Only a few of them are worth $18 million. The rest are still only worth 1 cent unless they have some unique features that make collectors go wild. We're talking about errors, misprints, double dies, or even wrong planchet strikes. Those are the golden tickets of the coin world. Imagine the US Mint machine having a Monday moment. Maybe someone had a bit too much coffee or not enough, and bam, they crank out a few coins with double stamping or mismatched metal, and instead of getting recycled or tossed out, they sneak into circulation. That's where the magic happens, and that's exactly what happened with one ultra-rare 1970 D penny. This bad boy had a double die obverse, which basically means the front of the coin, the side with Lincoln's beautiful mug, got stamped twice slightly off, and those little differences, the doubling in the date or letters, are what send collectors into a frenzy. We're talking crisp, bold doubling on the 1970 and sometimes even Liberty. It looks like the mint hit the stamp button twice after slamming a Red Bull, and guess what? Because it's so rare and in such pristine condition, that penny recently sold for a whopping $1.8 million at a private auction. Let me say that again, a penny sold for $1.8 million. See, don't know about you, but I've definitely dropped a penny on the sidewalk and just kept walking. Now I feel like I might have stepped over a fortune. Let me tell you a quick story. One day not too long ago, I'm watching TV, scrolling through coin videos, just casually looking up coin values because I like pain apparently, and boom, I see a video just like this one. Someone's talking about how the 1970 D penny is worth a small fortune. Now here's where things get real. I remember I had this giant jar of change sitting in my closet, the kind that weighs more than a toddler. I hadn't touched it in years, so I dump it out on the floor. The sound alone scared my cat halfway into the couch. I start digging through hundreds of pennies, squinting at dates like some kind of treasure hunter with terrible lighting and worse eyesight. I find a 1970 penny, my heart skips. I flip it over, bam, there's the D. I almost passed out. I run to my desk, grab a magnifying glass, and try to check for doubling. I'm shaking like I just found Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Now spoiler alert, mine wasn't the $1 million one, but it was still worth a bit more than face value, and it taught me something important. You never know what's in your pocket until you look, and now every time I see a penny I don't scoff, I squint. So how do you know if your 1970 D penny is worth a cool $18 million? To use a magnifying glass or zoom camera and inspect the 1970 and the word Liberty. That's when the numbers or letters look kind of shadowed or doubled. The shinier and more perfect it is, the higher the value, especially if it's uncirculated. 5. Bonus points if you see something extra strange like an off-center strike or weird rim shape now. Don't get discouraged if you don't find the jackpot right away. That's part of the fun. The hunt is half the adventure. It's like metal detecting without the sand in your shoes. If you think you found something special, get it looked at by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can officially certify your coin's value, and trust me, if you've got the $1 million version, your bank account's about to get a serious upgrade. You might be thinking, okay, why in the world would anyone pay $18 million for a penny? Simple answer: it's rarity and demand. Coin collectors are like Pokemon trainers, gotta catch 'em all, and when a coin is so rare that only one or two exist in mint condition with the right error, those collectors go into bidding wars. Some see it as a piece of American history, some see it as an investment, some are just rich and bored. Either way, if you've got that unicorn coin in your change jar, you're sitting on an appreciating asset that's better than Bitcoin on a good day. And let's be honest, it's way more fun to show someone a penny and say, yeah, this little guy's worth $1 million, than to try explaining your crypto wallet password. Alright, coin hunters, that's the scoop on the 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial penny worth $18 million. It's wild to think that something as small and overlooked as a penny could change someone's entire life, but that's the magic of coin collecting. Its history, mystery, and a dash of luck all rolled into one coppery circle. So next time you get change at the gas station or clean out your couch cushions, don't just toss those pennies in a jar. Take a closer look. You never know when your lucky penny will be the lucky penny. And hey, if you found today's video helpful or even just a little entertaining, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more deep dives into coins worth crazy money. We've got tips, stories, and strategies to help you become a smart coin collector without needing a magnifying glass glued to your face 24/7. So go check those pockets, and may the Lincoln be ever in your favor. Alright folks, gather around, because today we're talking about a humble little coin that might be hiding in your junk drawer, your old piggy bank, or the dusty cup holder in your car, and it could be worth a mind-blowing $1.9 million. Yep, you heard that right. $1.9 million. We're talking about the 1979 D. Lincoln Memorial penny. And now, before you laugh and say, come on man, it's just a penny, let me ask you this: if you saw a lotto ticket on the ground with the numbers already scratched off, and one of them matched yours, wouldn't you stop and double check? So buckle up, coin hunters, because today I'm breaking down why this seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin has collectors emptying their pockets and digging through old jars like it's a national treasure. I'll tell you what makes it rare, how to spot one, and yes, I've even got a personal story about a little coin that almost got tossed in the vending machine until I looked closer. And don't worry, this isn't going to be one of those boring history lessons where I drone on about metallurgy for 50 minutes. We're keeping it fun, real, and full of laughs. Sound good? Great. Let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d under the date. Now, millions of these were produced. Like, literally hundreds of millions. So what makes one of them worth almost $2 million? Nope, not a mistake you make texting your ex at 2 a.m. I'm talking about minting errors, little imperfections that happened during the production of the coin that turned a boring penny into a money magnet. Now, in most cases, errors lower the value of a coin. But when it's a rare error, that's when things get spicy. This particular 1979 D penny had a very specific, very unusual strike error. We're talking about a doubled die obverse. That means the design on the front of the coin was struck twice by accident, giving it a sort of ghostly, doubled appearance. And on top of that, some versions had a misaligned die and off-center strike, which makes them even more desirable. Collectors go nuts over this stuff. Like, hide in their basement with a flashlight level of nuts. How the heck do I know if I have one of these $1 million pennies? Start by flipping through your change. Look for a 1979 penny with a D mint mark under the date. Next, get yourself a good magnifying glass, or even better, one of those USB coin microscopes from Amazon. They're like $15 and totally worth it. You're looking for doubling on the front of the coin, especially on Lincoln's face, his bow tie, and the date. If it looks like Honest Abe's got a twin or he's got motion blur, bingo. You might have a doubled die. Also, check for signs of off-center strikes. That's when the design is shifted and you see extra space on one edge of the coin and not the other. It kind of looks like the coin was printed drunk. If your coin matches all those signs and it's in excellent condition, like mint or uncirculated, you could be looking at a payday bigger than your last 10 Christmas bonuses combined. It's all about rarity, demand, and condition. The combination of a double die error, off-center strike, and the fact that only one known specimen in pristine condition has surfaced? That's like finding Bigfoot in a three-piece suit playing blackjack in Vegas. The coin world is full of serious collectors who would sell their soul, or at least a classic car, for that kind of rarity. It's not just about the metal or the face value. It's about the story, the mistake, the uniqueness, and when it's graded by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC and gets something like an MS67 or higher? Boom! Value skyrockets. That's how we go from a single cent to $1.9 million. Now let me tell you a quick story that'll make you look twice at every coin you find from now on. About 3 years ago, I was cleaning out my garage, one of those I'll-do-it-later jobs that becomes a 5-hour existential crisis. I found this old Folgers coffee can filled with loose change from the 90s. Most of it was beat-up nickels and quarters, but I figured, let's take a quick look. I start sorting through the pennies and I swear, my heart skipped a beat. I found a 1979 D with the tiniest bit of doubling on the date. I ran inside like a man who just discovered buried treasure and spent 2 hours comparing it to images online. Turns out, it wasn't the $1 million one. Just a little wear and tear. Total letdown. It got me hooked. And now, coin hunting is a full-blown hobby. I've since found a 1983 doubled die reverse that sold for a couple $100, and a 1995 doubled die obverse that netted me enough to pay off a small credit card bill. So even though I didn't hit the jackpot, I've learned that coins are like lottery tickets you didn't know you were carrying. And that's why this 1979 D is so exciting, because it could be out there in someone's pocket right now. Alright, let's get practical. If you're serious about finding valuable coins, here's what I recommend. Check all your change. Grocery store, fast food drive-thru, car wash, every penny counts. Literally, hit up banks. Ask for rolls of pennies. Sometimes you'll get lucky and find uncirculated coins or hidden gems that people didn't notice. Join online forums. There's a whole community out there full of people sharing finds, tips, and photos. It's a great place to learn. Get your coins graded. If you think you found something valuable, don't just toss it in a drawer. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. Use apps and guides. There are coin apps that help you identify errors and values. Handy stuff when you're sorting through a pile of change. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. But even one good find can make it all worth it. That 1979 D Lincoln Memorial penny might look like any other coin. But under the right conditions, with the right error, and in the right hands, it's worth nearly $2 million, and if nothing else, it makes going through your old change kind of fun, doesn't it? Beats doom scrolling on your phone for the 100th time today. If you've got an old piggy bank, a coin jar, or a drawer full of loose change just sitting around, give it a look. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, got a laugh out of my garage meltdown story, or learned something new, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I post regular videos about rare coins, how to spot valuable errors, and real strategies for making your coin hobby pay off. Turn on those notifications too, so you don't miss the next time we uncover a coin that could change your life. Now go check your pockets. Your $1 million penny might be waiting for you. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Did you know that a simple penny you might have tossed aside could be worth more than your entire car? Yeah, I'm serious. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in the world of numismatics, the 1995 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this little copper disc can be worth a whopping $1 million. $1 million. That's like finding a secret stash under your couch cushions. So stick around, because I'm going to tell you why this penny is such a superstar, how you might spot one yourself, and what makes it so special in the first place. Grab your magnifying glass and get comfy. This is going to be a fun ride. The penny you thought was just a penny. Okay, so pennies are usually the forgotten members of the coin family. You find them in vending machines, couch cracks, or the bottom of your gym bag. But not all pennies are created equal. Some pennies can actually pay for your dream vacation, or in this case, $1 million jackpot. The 1995 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny is one of those rare exceptions. And no, it's not just about being old or shiny. There's a story behind it, a mix of history, rarity, and a tiny minting mistake that makes collectors go wild. Before we dive deep, let me tell you something funny. When I first got into coin collecting, I thought a penny was just a penny. Like, how exciting could it be? One day, I was cleaning out my old jar of coins, that jar everyone has where coins go to retire and never see the light of day, and I casually flipped through my pennies. And bam! I saw one without a mint mark. I thought, hey, neat. But little did I know, this little guy could have been worth a fortune. If only I knew then what I know now, I might have been sipping piña coladas on a beach by now instead of talking to you guys. First off, what's a mint mark? Mint marks are tiny letters on coins that tell you where they were made. For pennies, the common mint marks are P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Now, here's the kicker: in 1995, the Philadelphia Mint didn't put a mint mark on some pennies, which was unusual because typically from 1980 onward, Philadelphia pennies do have a P. So this no mint mark penny is like a minting glitch or an accidental sneak out, because fewer of these no mint mark pennies exist from 1995, collectors go crazy for them. It's like owning a rare baseball card or that limited edition sneaker everyone wants. Rarity plus demand equals $. And yeah, not every 1995 no mint mark penny is going to fetch $1 million. Condition is king in coin collecting. That means the penny has to be in near perfect shape, no scratches, no dirt, no bending, just flawless like it just came out of the mint. These coins are graded by experts on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless gem. The $1 million versions are typically near that top grade. We're talking museum quality stuff. The Lincoln Memorial on the back of the penny is iconic. This design was minted from 1959 all the way to 2008, honoring one of America's greatest presidents. So you're holding a piece of history in your hand, and if it's that rare no mint mark 1995 penny, you're basically holding a tiny golden ticket. Now while we're here, let's sprinkle in some fun trivia, because who doesn't love a little trivia with their treasure? Did you know that pennies used to be made mostly of copper, but now are mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating? The 1995 penny is mostly copper, so it's a little heavier than today's pennies. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Before that, pennies had Lady Liberty on them, so Lincoln basically crashed the party. During World War II, pennies were made of steel because copper was needed for the war effort. Imagine finding a steel penny today. Okay, so here's my own little coin tale. A few years ago, I was visiting my grandma, and she had this old wooden bowl on her kitchen table filled with loose change. You know the type: quarters, dimes, pennies, and a lot of random stuff. I started sorting through it like a kid on a treasure hunt. Then, I noticed a penny that looked a bit different. No mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I did a quick Google search on my phone. Turns out, it could be one of those rare 1995 no mint mark pennies. I rushed to show Grandma, and she just laughed. That old thing? I found it in my couch years ago. We had it graded by a local coin dealer, and it turned out to be in pretty good shape. Not perfect $1 million condition, but enough to make us smile. That little penny was a reminder that treasures are often hiding in plain sight, sometimes right in your grandma's bowl of change. Look closely on the front side, just below the date. Most 1995 pennies from Philadelphia will have a small P there. No P? You might have a rare find. Get it professionally graded if you think you found a winner. There's no point guessing your way to $1 million payday right now. The market for 1995 no mint mark pennies is hot. The $1 million figure represents the highest grade examples. If you find one in lower grades, it could still be worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. The coin market can be a roller coaster, so values fluctuate depending on collector demand, coin condition, and overall market vibes. If you're thinking about buying or selling, do your homework. Talk to certified coin dealers, check auction results, and keep an eye on coin shows. This isn't just collecting, it's a serious game where knowledge is power. So why should you care about the 1995 no mint mark penny? Because it's a perfect example of how even the most everyday objects can hold hidden value. It reminds us to slow down, look closely, and appreciate the small things. Plus, if you're lucky, you might stumble onto a fortune. Remember, coins like this aren't just money, they're stories, history, and sometimes, life-changing opportunities wrapped in metal. But if you loved learning about this crazy valuable penny and want more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button right now. We're on this treasure hunt together, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a funny coin story. I love reading those. And hey, share this video with your friends and family, because who knows, one of them might have $1 million penny sitting right in their pocket. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled and your pockets jingling with treasure. We turn everyday coins into treasure chests. Today, I've got a penny for your thoughts. Not just any penny, no. We're diving deep into the mysterious and surprisingly valuable world of the 1988 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this little copper coin can be worth a whopping $1.1 million right now. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. You're probably thinking, how could a coin that looks like the ones in my pocket be worth that much? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why and how this penny could change your life or at least make your wallet feel a little heavier. I'll also share a hilarious story from my own coin collecting adventures that shows just how wild the coin world can get. So grab a snack, sit back, and get ready to become a penny millionaire, figuratively, at least. And if you like turning small change into big change, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future treasure hunts. Alright, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this penny business. First, a quick history lesson, but I promise to keep it painless. The Lincoln cent has been around since 1909, a classic American coin featuring good old Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back since 1959. The 1988 penny is part of that long legacy. But here's where it gets interesting: most pennies minted in 1988 have a tiny letter P or D on them to show where they were made, Philadelphia or Denver. But the no-mint mark version? That's the unicorn of pennies. Well, it's complicated, but it mostly comes down to production errors or experimental runs. Sometimes the mint accidentally forgets to put the mark on the coin, or they make special batches without them. These are rare because the vast majority have the mint mark. And rarity in the coin world equals money in now, about that $1.1 million market value. That's not just a rumor or internet clickbait. Certain 1988 no-mint mark pennies have sold at auctions for crazy amounts. The key factors are condition, provenance, and a bit of collector hype. A penny in perfect mint condition with no mint mark, verified authenticity, and documented history can attract million-dollar bids. Here's where my own cointail comes in. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, casually flipping through a box of old coins, hoping to find some decent pocket change or maybe a silver dime. Suddenly, I spotted a shiny penny with no mint mark. I knew something was up. I bought it for about 50 cents, yeah, I know, a steal. Later, after some research and expert appraisal, I realized I had something special. Not $1 million coin, unfortunately, but enough to make me realize just how wild this hobby can be. And here's the kicker: if I had just shrugged it off or thrown it in my change jar, I might have missed out on a nice little windfall. That's the magic of coins like the 1988 no-mint mark penny. They hide in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize their value. It's like finding a $20 bill in an old jacket pocket you haven't worn in years, except way cooler. Let's talk a bit about how you can spot one if you ever get lucky enough to stumble across a no-mint mark penny from 1988. First, check the back of the coin. If it doesn't have a little P or D next to the date on the front, you're holding the rare version. Next, condition is king. Look for shiny surfaces, no scratches, and sharp details on Abe's face and the Lincoln Memorial. Coins get worn down after decades, so finding one in mint condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. I also want to touch on why these coins fetch such high prices. It's not just rarity. It's about demand from serious collectors and investors who know that the coin market can skyrocket when conditions are right. Like any collectible, timing and provenance matter. Some coins sell for millions because a famous collector owned them or they were featured in a notable auction. Also, don't forget the sentimental side. Lincoln pennies have been part of American life for over a century. They're tiny time capsules. Owning one with a unique story makes it more than just metal, it's history you can hold now. Before you run off to empty your pockets or raid grandma's coin jar, here's a quick heads up: not every 1988 penny without a mint mark is worth $1 million. There are counterfeits, damaged coins, and simply common ones that look similar but aren't rare. So always get a professional appraisal before dreaming of yachts and private islands. In the meantime, if you want to start your own coin journey, focus on learning about dates, mint marks, and condition grades. Start small, maybe with a few pennies, nickels, or dimes, and build your knowledge and collection over time. The thrill is in the hunt, and who knows, you might just stumble on your own little treasure. The fascinating, quirky, and surprisingly valuable world of the 1988 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. One tiny coin with a massive market value of $1.1 million if you find it in perfect condition. Remember my flea market story? It shows that sometimes treasure is right under our noses, waiting to be found out. If you enjoyed this dive into coin mysteries and want more tips, stories, and strategies on spotting coins worth money, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where we dig into coins, their values, and how you can make smart moves in the coin collecting game. And hey, if you have a wild coin story or have ever found something unexpectedly valuable, drop it in the comments below. I love hearing about your adventures as much as sharing mine. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep your eyes open, your hands clean, and your pennies close.